What if I told you that the single greatest investment you'll ever make is not in stocks, not in real estate, not in business, but in yourself? Let that sink in for a second, because every empire, every movement, every legacy began with one human being who chose to believe when nobody else did. They say doubt kills more dreams than failure ever will, and that's the truth. Failure doesn't destroy people. Lack of self-belief does. You don't need 1,000 people cheering for you. You don't need the world's validation. What you need is a rock-solid belief in your own potential, even when the world laughs in your face. Think about it. How many dreams were buried, not because they were impossible, but because someone said you can't do it, and that voice was louder than your own? Imagine how many geniuses, inventors, leaders, and visionaries never saw the light of success simply because they allowed others' opinions to override their inner conviction. But here's the challenge. I'm taking on a personal experiment. For 1 week, I'm gonna silence the noise, ignore the doubt, and believe in myself completely. No matter what people say, no matter how hard it gets, I'll act as if success is inevitable. And I want you to see what happens. Because self-belief is not just positive thinking. It's a mindset that rewires your entire life. It changes how you walk into a room. It changes how you speak, how you decide, how you act. When you believe in yourself, you stop waiting for permission and start creating opportunities. Every breakthrough in history was laughed at before it was celebrated. The Wright brothers were called crazy for believing man could fly. Edison was mocked after failing thousands of times to invent the light bulb. And yet, their belief turned into a reality that changed the course of humanity. Believing in yourself is not just a motivational phrase you see on posters. It's the foundation of every success story ever written. Without self-belief, talent is wasted, intelligence is doubted, and hard work is abandoned too soon. The truth is, you can have every resource in the world, but if you don't have confidence in your own potential, none of it matters. When we talk about self-belief, we're really talking about building an unshakable inner strength. It's about developing a success mindset that allows you to push through storms, setbacks, and failures. Life is not designed to hand you victories easily. The world will test you, challenge you, and at times even laugh at your dreams. That's why the greatest gift you can ever give yourself is the ability to stand tall, even when others want to see you fall. Self-belief doesn't mean arrogance. It doesn't mean ignoring advice or feedback. It means trusting your own vision enough to keep moving forward, even when the path looks impossible. Confidence is quiet. Doubt is loud. And in a world filled with loud opinions, the quiet conviction in yourself becomes your superpower. Think about how often you've second-guessed yourself because of what someone else said. Maybe you wanted to start a business, but someone told you it was risky. Maybe you wanted to change your career, but they said it was too late. Maybe you dreamed of doing something bold, but their laughter made you shrink back. Every time you let those voices in, you lose a piece of yourself. But here's the reality. Nobody can see your vision the way you do. People will doubt you because they can't imagine themselves doing what you're trying to do. Their doubt is a reflection of their own limitations, not yours. If you let their fear dictate your actions, you'll never live the life you were meant to live. History is filled with examples of ordinary people who dared to believe in themselves when others didn't. They didn't wait for approval. They didn't need applause. They simply trusted their inner fire and moved forward. And because of that decision, they rewrote history. Believing in yourself is not just about achieving external success. It's about personal growth, resilience, and mental strength. It's about looking in the mirror and saying, I am enough. I have what it takes. I will not quit. That's the kind of mindset that builds leaders, creators, and legends. So as we dive deeper into this journey, I want you to remember this. Self-belief is the starting point of all greatness. Without it, you'll never take the first step. With it, Even the heaviest obstacles become stepping stones. This is the power of believing in yourself, even when others don't. Here's the harsh reality. Most people don't fail because they lack talent or opportunity. They fail because they stop believing in themselves. The world is quick to remind you of your flaws, but slow to recognize your potential. Every time you step outside the norm, society questions you. And if you're not careful, those doubts can become your own. Self-doubt is like a silent thief. It doesn't show up suddenly. It creeps in little by little. One negative comment, one rejection, one failure, and suddenly your mind starts whispering, maybe they're right. Maybe I can't do this. And once that thought takes root, it begins to poison your confidence. The truth is, most people live in fear of judgment. They're so worried about what others will think that they never take bold action. Society has conditioned us to seek approval, grades in school, likes on social media, promotions at work. And while recognition feels good, it also traps us in a cycle of dependency. We begin to measure our worth by the opinions of others instead of the strength of our own belief. Think about it. How many times have you held yourself back because someone told you your idea was too crazy or too risky? How many times have you hidden your true self because you were afraid people wouldn't accept you? This is the invisible prison of doubt that keeps millions from ever reaching their true potential. Negative feedback is another heavy weight people carry. Criticism is a part of life, but when it becomes the loudest voice in your head, it paralyzes you. You stop creating, you stop trying, you stop dreaming because you're afraid of failing in public. But here's the paradox. Every success story is built on failure. Every victory was once seen as impossible. The difference is that successful people didn't let doubt win. The biggest challenge is this: believing in yourself when you have no evidence yet, when the bank account is empty, when the business is struggling, when the dream looks far away. That's when self-belief is tested. And most people quit right there, not realizing they were closer than they thought. What's even harder is when the doubt comes from people you love. Family, friends, mentors. Sometimes their words hurt the most. They may not mean to discourage you, but their fear becomes your fear if you let it. And yet, if you don't learn to block out that noise, you'll never step into your destiny. So here's the challenge. Can you believe in yourself when no one else does? Can you trust your vision when all you hear is no? Can you find strength within when the world only shows you weakness? This is the real battle, and it's the one that separates those who dream from those who actually live their dreams. I remember a time when I shared one of my biggest dreams with people close to me. I was excited, full of passion, ready to take action. But instead of encouragement, I was met with silence, laughter, and doubt. They said, "That's unrealistic. That's not for people like us." For a moment, I believed them. For a moment, their words felt heavier than my own belief. But that's when I realized, if I don't believe in myself, why should anyone else? This isn't just my story. It's a universal truth. Every person who has ever achieved greatness first faced a mountain of doubt. Take Thomas Edison, for example. He failed over 1,000 times before inventing the light bulb. People called him a fool, but Edison said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." That's not just resilience. That's unshakable self-belief. Or look at Oprah Winfrey. She was told she was unfit for television. Imagine if she had listened. Today, she's one of the most influential women in the world. Her story proves that the opinions of others only matter if you let them define you. Her success came from the courage to keep going, even when the world tried to silence her. Then there's Walt Disney. He was fired from a newspaper because they said he lacked imagination. The very quality he was criticized for became the foundation of his empire. If he had let rejection define him, we would never have known the magic of Disney. His journey is a reminder that sometimes the world's doubt is actually proof that you're onto something extraordinary. Another powerful story is J.K. Rowling, the author of Harry Potter. She faced rejection after rejection. 12 publishers turned her down. She was broke, struggling as a single mother, and still she refused to give up. Why? Because she believed in her story. Today, her books have touched millions of lives worldwide. That's the power of self-belief in action. Even Michael Jordan, considered the greatest basketball player of all time, was once cut from his high school team. Instead of quitting, he used that rejection as fuel. He later said, "I failed over and over and over again in my life, and that is why I succeed." His belief in himself transformed failure into fuel. What's common in all these stories? It's not luck. It's not talent alone. It's the mindset of never giving up, the resilience to rise every time they fell, and the inner strength to believe in themselves when others didn't. That's the secret ingredient that turns ordinary people into legends. And here's the truth for you. Your story isn't any different. You don't need the world to believe in you. You need one person, you. Because once you commit, once you trust your vision, once you push forward despite the noise, the world eventually catches up. Doubt always comes before recognition. There always comes a moment when the noise outside becomes unbearable, and the doubt feels stronger than your belief. I've been there. You've been there too. That breaking point where you question everything. Am I really good enough? Am I wasting my time? Should I just give up? That's the moment most people quit. But here's the truth. That's also the exact moment when breakthroughs are born. I had a turning point like this myself. One night, after hearing constant doubt from others, I sat alone and asked myself, what if they're right? What if I'm not capable? But then another voice rose inside me, a quiet, steady voice that said, what if they're wrong? And that single thought shifted everything. I realized that the only way to know was to keep going. This is the defining moment for everyone who chooses self-belief over self-doubt. It's not about proving others wrong. It's about proving yourself right. Because deep down, you already know you're capable. You just need to trust it long enough for the results to appear. Think about every great success story we admire. The Wright brothers building an airplane when everyone said man was not meant to fly. Steve Jobs being fired from his own company and then returning to make it legendary. Elon Musk being told electric cars were a joke before Tesla reshaped the auto industry. All of them had one defining moment, the decision to keep believing in themselves, no matter the noise. Self-belief is not loud. It doesn't need to scream. It's a steady fire inside your chest that keeps burning, even when the winds of doubt blow against you. That fire is what carries you through rejection, through failure, through ridicule. And once you protect that fire, nothing can extinguish it. The real power of believing in yourself is that it transforms fear into fuel. Instead of running from challenges, you start running toward them. Instead of seeing failure as an end, you see it as a lesson. And instead of begging for approval, you start walking in your purpose with confidence. That's the moment when life begins to shift. People start noticing. The same ones who doubted you start asking, how did you do it? The applause always comes late, but it does come. And it only comes because you had the courage to believe before anyone else did. This is the key moment, realizing that self-belief is not optional. It's survival. It's the bridge between where you are and where you dream to be. Without it, you'll always quit too soon. With it, you can move mountains. And that's when everything changes. Not because others believe in you, but because you finally believed in yourself. When we look back at everything we've uncovered, one truth stands taller than all the rest. Self-belief is the foundation of every victory. Without it, dreams die before they're born. With it, even the most impossible goals become possible. Believing in yourself is not a luxury. It's a necessity for growth, resilience, and success. We started by acknowledging the weight of doubt, the voices of society, of family, of friends, and even the voice inside our own head that whispers, "You can't." Those doubts are real, but they are not facts. They are just opinions, and opinions only have power if you choose to accept them. We saw how self-doubt silently kills confidence, how negative feedback paralyzes action, and how societal pressure keeps people trapped in fear. But we also saw how legends, Edison, Oprah, Disney, Rowling, Jordan, faced the same battles. The difference? They believed in themselves when nobody else did. That belief became the weapon that destroyed doubt and the seed that grew into success. The climax of this journey was realizing that the real turning point in life doesn't come when the world believes in you. It comes when you believe in you. That quiet, unshakable decision to trust your vision, even when there's no proof yet, is what separates dreamers from doers. Believing in yourself builds mental strength. It gives you the courage to fail forward, the resilience to rise again, and the confidence to walk a path others fear to tread. It's not about arrogance. It's about trusting your potential enough to take action, even when the outcome is uncertain. And here's the most beautiful part. Once you start living with self-belief, you no longer need external validation. You stop chasing applause and start building impact. You stop fearing rejection and start embracing growth. That's when you become unstoppable. So let me remind you of this. Every time you doubt yourself, you are gambling away your own future. But every time you choose belief, you are building a bridge to a destiny far greater than you can imagine. Self-belief is not about who you are today. It's about who you are becoming. If there's one lesson you carry with you from this video, let it be this. Never let the noise of doubt silence the voice of belief inside you. Trust your vision, protect your fire, and move forward with the certainty that you are capable of extraordinary things. Because you are. Now, I want to turn this over to you. Have you ever had a dream that people laughed at? Have you ever been told you can't do it, but deep inside you knew you could? Share your story in the comments below. Your words might just inspire someone else who's on the edge of giving up. If this message connected with you, don't just watch it and move on. Take action. Hit that like button, because every like pushes this video to more people who might need to hear this message today. Someone out there is drowning in doubt, and your engagement could be the lifeline that reaches them. And if you're not already subscribed, this is the perfect time to join this journey. Every week, we dive into topics like self-belief, resilience, motivation, and personal growth, breaking them down into real stories and powerful lessons you can apply to your life. By subscribing, you're not just following a channel. You're becoming part of a community built on strength, courage, and growth. Turn on the notifications because you don't want to miss what's coming next. We'll be exploring more life-changing ideas, more stories of people who refuse to quit, and more strategies you can use to strengthen your own success mindset. And remember, watching motivation is only half the battle. Living it is where the transformation happens. So take one small step today that aligns with your belief in yourself. Maybe it's starting that project you've been putting off. Maybe it's applying for that job. Or maybe it's simply telling yourself in the mirror, "I believe in me." If you found value here, share this video with a friend who needs encouragement. We all know someone who's struggling with doubt, someone who's on the verge of quitting. Be the reason they keep going. A single share can spark hope in someone else's heart. And when you're done here, don't stop. I've got another video waiting for you. The one that digs deeper into building resilience in tough times. If you enjoyed this, that's your next step. Click it, and let's keep growing together. So let's end with this. Believe in yourself, even when others don't. Because the truth is, the world may doubt you 1,000 times, but it only takes one person to change your story. That person is you.